Hello everybody and welcome to my first reading vlog. I am so excited to be doing reading vlogs, you have no idea, but this idea I have seen been going around and I'm really excited to do it because I am such a mood reader. I just usually when I'm done with a book, I come out here, I look at my TBR and I'm like, you know what, that one sounds good. And I figured this is probably the best reading vlog to start with, and it is Instagram is going to blindly choose the books that I read next. So I finished The Husbands last night, right there. Gave it a 2.75. We'll chat about it later. But I was like, I'm really in the mood for a horror book. So I posted a picture on Instagram of 2 books, and I scribbled out the covers and I put little emojis on the top, and I put a poll and I had everyone vote for what book I should read next. And the 2 books that I chose are 2 horrors because I'm like just in the mood to read a horror right now. I'm just feeling it. I was looking through my TBR and I was like, which 2 do I want to read? Because I own a few. And I went with The Children on the Hill by Jennifer McMahon or Episode 13 by Craig DeLuey. I've had these for a little and I'm like obviously interested in reading them because they're on my TBR, but I just couldn't decide which one I wanted to pick. So I popped that poll up last night and let's go ahead and check and see what we're at. So for The Children on the Hill, I put like 2 little kid emojis. I thought that was kind of fun, and I covered it with blue since I could have did orange, but there's a lot of blue in this. And then for Episode 13, I covered it in like dark green and I put a VHS tape. I figured those would work, and it looks like 41% voted for Children on the Hill and 59% voted for Episode 13. So it looks like I'm going to be starting Episode 13 next, which I'm really excited about. We'll pop The Children on the Hill over there. And this is a pretty thick horror book, but from what I've heard of this, it's really, really good. It looks like it's mixed media. Like there's some like text messages. Looks like there's some like interview style stuff. Emails maybe. I don't know, it looks really, really good. So let's go ahead and read the back. It says, Fade to Black is the newest hit ghost hunting reality TV show. Led by husband and wife team Matt and Claire Kirkland, it features a dedicated crew of ghost hunting experts. Pause. Ghost books, paranormal books, are like the only ones that truly spook me out, so I'm very excited. Well, not only, but they really do scare me. It says Episode 13 takes them to every ghost hunter's holy grail, the Paranormal Research Foundation. This crumbling derelict? I can read. Mansion holds secrets and clues about bizarre experiments that took place there in the 1970s. It's also undoubtedly haunted. And Matt hopes to use scientific techniques and high-tech gear to prove it. But as the house begins to slowly reveal itself to the crew, proof of an afterlife might not be everything Matt dreamed of. Sounds spooky. I'm gonna go ahead and read the first chapter with you guys right now, and then I'll give you like my first thoughts, and then I'll start this one tonight, and I'm really excited. It looks like first though we have an editor's note, and then they're not really chapters, they're just kind of like sections, so let's read both of those. I read the editor's note, and the editor's note is like an editor's note for the found footage. So it's not necessarily from the author, but it's from like the editor of the found footage, basically being like, all of this is real, believe what you want to believe, but it's all real. It's from Matt Kirkland, who's the lead investigator. It's on like the Fade to Black website, and it kind of just like goes over his bio, like the about him page on like a website, and it kind of explains why he wanted to become a paranormal investigator. And it's because he had like a paranormal experience when he was a kiddo, where he moved to a new house, and this like girl who was like really cold and sick became like his imaginary friend, but she was really a ghost. And his mom didn't believe him, took him to like a bunch of doctors to kind of determine like, what can we do? And the doctors are like, it's normal to have imaginary friends. And then his mom finally believed him at the end when he said like a certain sentence, and his mom was like, wait a second, that was my friend that like died when I was a kid. So seems like it's gonna be spooky. I like having that like little, I don't know, like this is about me sort of section, and then it goes into Foundation House, which is the house I think that they're checking out. So it looks like then, yeah, it's like a blog post, and this is pre-interview transcript. So this is all mixed media. This is gonna be really fun. I think the last book I read that was like that was Dead 11, and I really liked that book. So I'm definitely gonna dig into this tonight. I'll update you guys when I get a chance, but let's get into episode 13. Alrighty, so I'm about 34% of the way done with this. I just finished like the initial intro, and then, which was quick, and then day 1 and day 2 of them being in this house. It is all written as found footage, so you know something has happened, like drastically has happened. There's like text messages, every person in the team does like a blog post at some point, and there's even just like what I would say is like GoPro footage, where you can just basically get where they like type up what exactly is happening and then like the conversation. So like I said, I just finished up to day 2. I'm about to start day 3 right now. Brian is downstairs playing Fallout, and I'm just gonna lay on the couch next to him and read day 3. I think day 3 is actually quite long because day 1 was rather boring, but day 2 ends on like a huge cliffhanger, spooky cliffhanger. So I'm really interested now to see like where day 3 takes us. So far I'm really liking this. I like the found footage aspect because I feel like I'm kind of going through it so much faster, because this being almost 450 pages for a horror book is intensely long. So I'm still enjoying this. I'm gonna go read day 3 now, and I'll check in with you guys a little bit later. But I'm really, I don't even know how many days there are, because like, I don't know, my brain just automatically goes to them being there for a week. But what if it's not, you know? You never know. So I'm gonna go read some more of this. Okay guys, I am here with a reading update. It is midweek. My cat just meowed, and I don't normally film like on these days because I just worked all day long, but I did finish episode 13 by Craig DeLuey last night, and I ended up giving it a 3-star. I was trying to explain this like entire storyline to my husband this morning, and I just felt like it took such a different turn than I was expecting it to. So it is like the whole premise is it's episode 13 of this paranormal investigator show, and they want to kind of go out with a bang, so they're going to this place called the Foundation House that is like supposedly the most haunted place to end the season and potentially get picked up for another season. So this is all raw footage and like transcripts and stuff from, or found footage from what happened, because no one knows what happened to these people because they went missing. And it started off just like that. It started off so good. It like started off with that exact premise. The house ends up being super haunted. There's like so much happening, and it was so great. But then it took such an absolutely wild turn that I was not expecting. And let me know if you've read this, if you liked the turn it took. I found that I did like it at some points, but then the ending just was not the ending I wanted, and even that turn was just not what I was expecting in this plot. I will say with that, I did end up giving it 3 stars just because it wasn't what I expected. I didn't really care for it too much. It was just so confusing. But I will say the very, very, very end, like essentially the epilogue, was so good, like creepy, perfect. I liked how, yes, it ended on a weird note, but the epilogue sort of ended that nicely for me. That's how I felt. Oh, because I finished that, like, to be fair, I totally would love to read more horror, but I want to give you guys a little bit of a variety. So I was like, I want to read a romance, but I want to read like a weird romance. And not that these books are weird romances, but I did post this picture last night on my Instagram, again, blind picked, and I covered up the covers. So it is between That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon, which I've been wanting to read for a while now, and Butcher and Blackbird. This is by Kimberly Lemming. This is by Bryn Weaver. This is the start of a trilogy, and this is also, I believe, a trilogy right now, which is kind of fun. But these are like off-kilter romances because, like, obviously. And then this is like serial killer romance, which I've been wanting to read for a while. So I posted the blind pick poll on my Instagram, and I did a knife for this one and a beer for this one. And 60% of people chose Butcher and Blackbird. So that is what I'm going to be starting tonight. A little sad because I do want to read That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon, but I'll save that for another time. So I'm excited to get into this. Like I said, from what I know, this is dual POV. We're following two different like serial killers, but they're not like the bad kind. They're like the Dexter kind where they kill bad people. So they're kind of like, what is that word? Brian, what's that word for someone who like Dexter, he does bad things, but he does it to bad people? There's a word for it. Huh? No, it's like... Oh, a vigilante. Vigilante, thank you. Okay, so they're like vigilantes. So, and they, from what I understand about this couple, not even a couple, they're just two serial killers that end up like falling in love. It's a romance. Is that they're like playing a game, or I don't know, but I'm really excited to get into this. Like I said, it's dual POV, so I'm gonna start this tonight. I do like, right when I open the page, there are content and trigger warnings, which is nice because it's a dark romantic comedy, which I'm excited for because I like romantic comedies. And I figured there would be not so accidental cannibalism. Ew. A lot of trigger warnings, but oh my god, the detailed scenes. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to show this to Brian. That's hilarious. So at least those are in the front of the book, and there is a ton of trigger warnings. It says, for those of you who read the trigger warnings and said accidental cannibalism, count me in, this one's for you. I did not say that, but here we are. There's also a playlist at the front with some QR codes for Apple Music and Spotify. Let's see if there's any songs on here. 21 Pilots. Okay. Oh my god, there's so many songs. Oh, and they're for each chapter. I just realized that. Wild. Oh my god, look at this. The ice cream. Annual August Showdown. 7 days, tiebreaker by rock, paper, scissors, best of 5. Winner takes the Forest Phantom. Okay, well, I'm excited. I'll be starting this tonight, and I'll update you guys as I get into it. Update time. This is Butcher and Blackbird. I took off the dust cover. Can anybody read what dust cover's on? Not I. I'm about 40% of the way through, and so far I do like it. I do like it a lot. I like their chemistry. It was very quick, like page 1 chemistry, which I sometimes find myself not enjoying. I do tend to like a good slow burn because tension is so good, but I do like this. I do like their chemistry, but and I do like the whole serial killer thing. Like it's cool because the two people they've killed so far have been obviously bad people because they're vigilantes. So it's kind of nice. I will say though, I wish there was more on-page romantic things, because you start off with them meeting and then it jumps to a year ahead quickly, and like they're BFFs and they're chatting all the time and stuff, and I'm like, I wanted that build up. So I wish there was a little bit more of that. However, I do really like this so far, and I like the chemistry, and I'm really enjoying it, and it's a quick paced read, which I also really enjoy. So I'm having a good time with this one. Figured I'd give you an update. I don't know if you can hear, but dinner's cooking downstairs and I'm gonna go eat. But so far so good, 40% of the way through. Okay, you guys, so I just finished reading Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver. This is the first in the Ruinous Love trilogy. I literally just closed the book, just finished it. So this is my like initial thoughts. I don't know quite yet where I'm landing on a star rating. I'm thinking maybe a 3 overall, like a solid 3. I just felt like, I think when I updated you last, I was talking about how like most of their relationship happens off page, and you get like 4 years later, 2 years, like there was a point where he was like, it's been 4 years, and I'm like, I've only read 100 pages. How has it been 4 years since they met? I just feel like the time goes so quickly and you're not getting a lot of that like core relationship, and it mostly feels like lust, which is fine for a dark romance, but I just wanted more of that like they had chemistry, but I wanted more of that on page. And so I liked it, I just didn't love it. And I feel bad saying that because I know a lot of people, like, this is a very divisive book. I know a lot of people either really love this or really hate it. So with that, I'm still trying to decide if I want to continue the series. I know the next book comes out in like a month, and I might snag it, but also I just like didn't love this the way I thought I would, which makes me really sad. So I think I want to read something like a little bit more lighthearted now. So I have a couple of choices I think I'm going to do, and I'm going to post that Instagram story like right now because I might be able to start another book tonight, which would be great. But yeah, I feel bad saying that, but this just like was not what I expected. Okay, so it's been a whole day since I posted, and as you guys know, I am going between The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer, which I'm like kind of wanting to read because it feels like it's a short, kind of sweet, whimsical, kind of gives me a little bit of Wayward Children vibes, but not Wayward Children vibes. Or Before the Coffee Gets Cold. This is by Toshikazu Kawaguchi, and it's like 4 different stories. So I put this up last night on Instagram stories and said, can you blind pick? I put this one as blue, and I put a coffee cup as the emoji, and then I put this one as orange, because this could have been any color, and I put a stack of books as the emoji. And according to Instagram, 61% of people chose Before the Coffee Gets Cold. So I'm actually really looking forward to this. I've been wanting to read this one. I think this is one of the first books I was interested in when I got into watching BookTube, because so many people were talking about it, and it's like a whole series now. Like there's so many. I've seen so many at Barnes & Noble. It basically says, in a small back alley of Tokyo, there's a cafe that has been serving carefully brewed coffee for more than 100 years. Local legend says that this shop offers something else besides coffee, the chance to travel back in time. Over the course of one summer, 4 customers visit the cafe in the hopes of making that journey, but time travel isn't so simple, and there are rules that must be followed. Most important, the trip can last only as long as it takes for the coffee to get cold, which I like. There's 4 different stories in this one, which makes sense because like they're doing like a whole series, because like I'm sure there's so many stories that could be told. But the 4 stories for this one are the lovers, husband and wife, the sisters, and mother and child. So I'm gonna try to read at least 2 of the stories tonight, and I think this is a pretty, it's small, and it's like the text is pretty large, and it's shorter, so I feel like I could get through this one pretty quickly, and I think it'll be a nice kind of palette cleanser from Butcher and Blackbird, in my opinion. And then I don't even know what type of book I'm gonna want to read next. Could be anything. So this is what we're going to be reading next. I'm here with another update. So I started Before the Coffee Gets Cold yesterday, and I read the first 2 stories, which were The Lovers and Husband and Wife. I knew I was going to like this book, but I'm loving this. Like, there is a reason that this is so highly talked about, and I just felt like for me, when I like picked it up, I was like, oh, it's gonna be like a comfort, magical realism, not really fantasy, but magical realism kind of book, and it's just gonna be like one of those like comfort books you pick up. Yes, but also I'm feeling so many feelings. The Lovers was such a good story. I felt like it was a great introduction to the cafe, to the rules, to the breakdown, to the people that work at the cafe. But the husband and wife story got me a little misty-eyed. I was like, oh, this is really, really cute. So, like I said, I started this yesterday. I read the first 2 stories yesterday. I'm about 60% of the way done. So I fully think I'm gonna be able to finish it tonight. And I'm so looking forward to it. So I'm really liking this. Like, it's just so, so cute. And I wanted to share with you guys today, I got my first ever Aardvark book club book today. I have been wanting to sign up for the Aardvark book club for a few months now. And then when I saw their May selections, I knew I had to sign up because one of my most anticipated releases of the year was in there. And I was like, oh, I need to get this. Plus they have a lot of really great horror picks, I'm not gonna lie. And Book of the Month never has like horror. So I was really excited. It's Ghost Station by S.A. Barnes. Dead Silence last year was one of my favorite books of the year. And I'm so excited for Ghost Station, but that's neither here nor there. I just wanted to share that with you because I got it. So, yes, because I'm basically going to be done with this book tomorrow, and I'll share my overall thoughts tomorrow. I have to take another picture. We're going to do my final Instagram blindly picks my book. And all day today I was thinking about it, and I was like, what genre do I want to do? Because I've been doing books that are like relatively similar, but I was like, no. I have 2 books that I know for a fact I am reading this month no matter what. So one of them I'll just read with you. They're both 2 very different genres. So it's either going to be my Book of the Month selection for the month, which is The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. I've loved every Christina Lauren I've read. I'm really looking forward to this. This is their new release. Or I have 1 book left. The only one left, dare I say. In my Riley Sager backlog, the only one left. And I really want to read this month because his new book comes out next month, and that's one of my most anticipated releases of the year. So I'm gonna post both of these and have Instagram blindly choose those tonight, so I'll be ready for tomorrow. So, you know, a romance and a thriller. Looking forward to both. But yeah, Before the Coffee Gets Cold has been, I don't know, like, I feel like right now it's giving me that like 4.5 star feeling. I can't necessarily say it's giving me the 5-star feeling, but it's definitely giving me the 4.5 star feeling. Could potentially be a 5. It's just like giving me like warm fuzzy tummies, and I just love it. And I don't know how many books are in this series, but I totally will pick all of them up because they're so good. They're just short stories. They're so perfect. And like I was saying, the husband and the wife one was just so good. Like, my heart is just like, oh, it's so good. So I'm gonna hopefully finish this one tonight, and then I'll start whichever one gets chosen between these 2 tomorrow. And then look out, God, I have all these hardbacks. Look out for a new reading vlog soon with this bad boy, because I'm so excited to read this. Like, seriously, Dead Silence was one of my favorite books of last year, so I'm so excited. It's a little chaotic in the house right now because it's like evening time. Everybody's ready to eat dinner. I finished Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. Immediate 5 stars. I feel like my 5 stars, I sometimes get a little stingy with them, and I like don't want to give out a 5-star. And it's all like vibes for me. Such good vibes. Such good vibes. I felt like the whole book it was going to be a 4, and then the last story, the mother and child story. Yes, the mother and child story took me out completely. I got so emotional, and I feel like it's gonna be that way for you, especially if you're reading this with any attachment you have to any of these like stories, so like the sisters and the mother and child, the lovers, husband and wife. You're gonna feel some sort of attachment, at least I do. So that one really took me out. I got really emotional. Had to, as soon as I closed this book and put it on my shelf, I told my husband, I was like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom for a minute and collect myself because I couldn't stop crying. And I think he thought I was kidding, but like, this book just evoked so much emotion out of me. And I'm gonna say too, I'm kind of annoyed that this has been sitting on my TBR for as long as it has, because it's just like one of those books that like just was sitting there, and I was like, it's gonna be cute, it's gonna be fun, but it's not gonna be something that like when I want to read, I'm not gonna reach for it. I'm gonna reach for a thriller, or I'm gonna reach for like a horror or something that like I tend to reach for. I'm glad I read this. I immediately added the other 3 that are currently available, and I think there's gonna be another one coming out too, to my wish list because I need to have them. This is just like, if ever I'm going through like a rough patch, or I just need like a feel-good situation, I have to pick one of these up again because they're just so good. 5 stars, so happy about this one. Like, the hype is so real on this one. If you have this on your TBR, if you have this on your shelves and you have not read it, pick it up and read it. I'm telling you, it's just gonna like evoke so much emotion out of you. It's gonna be amazing. Moving on to the last and final book. So I did it last night. I did my poll. I showed the Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. I did it as a green background. I'll show you guys. A green background with like a little like pretty little flower. And then for The Only One Left by Riley Sager, I did like an orange background. I color matched it and then did like a base because I wanted to do something spooky. There was no typewriters and I didn't want to do the castle. I feel like that was weird. And I didn't want to do a ghost because like I don't know if it's paranormal or not. And with a resounding 68%, y'all, the Paradise Problem was chosen, which I'm excited about. Like I told y'all, I'm still gonna read The Only One Left this month because I want to finish all of Riley Sager's backlog before his new book comes out next month. And then I probably will do a whole Riley Sager video for you guys before his new book comes out. But I'm excited because I was going to get to this one anyway this month. So this is the new Christina Lauren. It is the Paradise Problem. I honestly don't know too much about it. So let's just read a quick synopsis. It says Christina Lauren returns with a delicious new romance between the buttoned-up heir of a grocery chain and a free-spirited artist as they fake their relationship in order to receive a massive inheritance. I'm not going to read the whole synopsis to you guys, but first of all, an heir of a grocery chain really does it for me. I don't know why. I would love to be an heir of a grocery store. And then fake relationship, fake dating is one of my favorite tropes. I love it so much. Let's see. Oh my god. We're just gonna read a little bit. Anna Green thought she was marrying Liam Weston for access to subsidized family housing while at UCLA. She also thought she'd signed divorce papers when the graduation caps were tossed and they both went on their merry ways. Ooh, so she's already gone through a crappy relationship. 3 years later, Anna is a starving artist living paycheck to paycheck while Liam is a Stanford professor. Ugh, we hate to see that. He may be one of 4 heirs to the Weston Foods conglomerate, but he has a little interest in working for the heartless corporation his family built from the ground up. He is interested, however, in his $100 million inheritance. There's just one catch. Wait a second. Due to an antiquated clause in his grandfather's will, Liam can't claim the money until he's been happily married for 5 years. Just when Liam thinks he's in the home stretch, pressure mounts from his family to see this mysterious spouse, and he has no choice but to turn to the one person he's afraid to introduce to his 1%er parents, his unpolished, not-so-ex-wife. Wait, so these are... I thought it would be a new man. It's the same man. But in the presence of his family, Liam's fears quickly shift from whether the feisty, foul-mouthed, paint-splattered Anna can play the part to whether the toxic world of wealth will corrupt someone as pure of heart as his surprisingly grounded and supportive wife. Liam will have to ask himself if the price tag on his flimsy cover story is worth losing true love that sprouted from a lie, but they were already in love. So is this like exes to lovers again? Second chance romance plus fake dating? This kind of gives me Happy Place vibes. I have not read Happy Place yet, but that seems like it. I'll be starting this one tonight. Oh my gosh, I've never even seen what Christina Lauren looked like. Oh my god, why are they so cute? Love them. Yes, I'm gonna be starting this one tonight. I'm really looking forward to it. Oh, they have such a great backlist. I really need to get more into their backlist. It looks like it's a little over 300 pages. So hopefully I can finish this weekend and then I can get this video edited for you guys. But let's start this bad boy tonight. Okay, so I'm here to give you guys a reading update on the Paradise Problem. First of all, don't have the book with me. It's in my room right now. My kiddo's asleep on my bed and I am not gonna wake her up. She is in a mood. But I wanted to give you an update. So the first night I went to read it, I read 35 pages because I was so tired. I just couldn't. I was like, I need to go to sleep. And then I picked it up yesterday. I read 174 pages and could probably have finished the book if I didn't want to go to bed last night. First of all, eating it up. I just love Christina Lauren's writing. They write so good and there's so many like pop culture references. I even took a picture last night and like highlighted and posted it on my Instagram stories because it was like talking about the Barbie movie and she was like, my Ken's job is beach, and I was like, oh. And like sometimes pop culture references like can annoy me in books, but for some reason all of these I'm just like I said, just eating them up. They're so good. The chemistry between these two characters is so good. It has like every trope like that I love. Friends to lovers, one bed, one shower that's open that you can see into. There was a whole scene where I was like, I was dying. I was kicking my feet. I was so, oh my god. Friends to lovers, fake dating. Well, this is technically a fake marriage, but I love this so much, and I'm like 60% of the way through, and I'm waiting for the third act conflict to drop. I have a feeling I know what the third act conflict is because we keep getting like references to things, and I'm gonna be kind of sad if it like is written really weirdly, but I'm so for this. Like, this is so good. It is so good. He loves her and she loves him, and I cannot. It is so good. So I'm gonna hopefully finish it tonight, and if I don't finish it tonight, I'm definitely finishing it tomorrow. I'm so like, I don't even know why I was like hesitant to read this. Like, I always sometimes really get hesitant before romances because like I either love a romance or I'm very about a romance, but this romance is so good. Okay, it's so good. I can't wait to keep reading. Also, I finished The Paradise Problem last night. I essentially binged this book. I feel like the first day, because I read 30 pages, I was so tired. If I don't count that, if I just count the 2 days of basically reading over 100 pages each, I feel like I could have read this in one day. I truly think if I would have started at like noon, I could have easily finished this book in one day. I ended up giving it 5 stars. Just like I said in the last little clip, every trope that I love was just like amplified in this book, and the banter and the tension and the third act conflict actually wasn't terrible. Sometimes I feel like in romances, especially the third act conflict, can be drawn out really and just be very, I don't know, just be over like 50 to 100 pages of this conflict, and I'm like, we don't need that. We just can get it over with and get over the hump and get back to where they love each other again. And that's kind of what this book did. So I gave it 5 stars. I had such a great time with it. I haven't read a Christina Lauren in a really long time, and I'm just like, now I want to go back and read the other ones I have not read. So loved this one. 5 stars. So these were the 4 books that Instagram blindly picked for me to read. I feel like it was 2 3 stars, so episode 13 and Butcher and Blackbird were like very 3-star meh for me, and then 2 5 stars, which is so fun, and back to back 2 5 stars. Haven't had that in a really long time. I had such a good time reading all 4 of these books, and I was so excited for Instagram to blindly choose my TBR and blindly choose my reads. If you would like to see a video similar to this again in the future, let me know, because I had such a good time with it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.